OFPG Voices is brought to you by the following sponsor. Board and Dice creates games where strategy and family fun collide. Some of their latest releases are La Granja Deluxe Master Set, Books of Time, Barcelona, and Nucleum. Their ally program lends support to underrepresented voices in the hobby. Everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games. Voices, yeah!
And welcome back, everybody, to another week of OFPG Voices.
Yes! Yes.
Now, this week, we're going to talk about some nature-themed games.
Ooh, nature. Yeah, we've had some issues with nature. We have had issues with nature lately.
No, we have not.
Yeah.
Winter is nature.
Woo! But the winter we getting... You know, sub-zero temperatures and snow everywhere.
That's nature. That's nature.
Lord, what's going on?
Ice and all that stuff is nature.
Then we had something called snow squalls. I'm like, what is that? I never heard of that. So nature has been upon us.
Yes, it has. Now, this week we've got some great contributors. We've got Jen, who's going to give us a really good review.
Yes.
And Mel's going to give us some top 5 nature-themed games.
Yes.
And then Marcus Ross is going to give us some really great designer tips.
Yes,
and
yes.
Before all that, we've got a guest contributor for Good Humans.
Yes, we do.
Yes. His name is navymontel, and he has a really great message for us.
All right. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and blurs of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Montel Thompson, also known as Navy Montel. I am known as the Frosty Bearded Blerdicorn here. I am a content creator, podcaster, YouTuber, blurred of everything there is to be nerdy and geeky and everything that I love. I like bringing folks from the dark into the light. And I am honored to be here, part of OFPG, be part of the Voices, and be a part of the Good Humans segment. I am here because I was asked to do this, and I'm not going to lie, I wasn't sure what I was going to speak about until something was laid on my heart and said, you know what, I'm going to speak on this. We as nerds and geeks, as blurs, whatever you want to label yourself as, we want this community to grow and to flourish. We want to bring those who aren't aware of all the amazing and colossal things that we love to come in and experience them. And one of the things that I notice that we have to do, that we need to do, and that we should do, not only as geeks and nerds, but as human beings, is be kind. Now, someone would say, well, that's not hard to do. It can be, because there are people out there who, though they have the intention of being kind, they're not necessarily welcoming. And that's important, especially if we want our younger generation to flourish and grow and to promote and to educate, enlighten, and inspire others to become a part of this by showing the passion and the things that they love. And in order to do that, we have to be kind. We have to be understanding. Not everybody comes from the same background. Everybody that we encounter has a different story. They come from a different walk of life. And as a result of that, we need to be understanding and also empathetic to them. We have to be open to different ideas and different concepts. But at the core of it, we have to be kind towards each other, show that love, respect, and understanding, especially if you're introducing someone to role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, or into card gaming, or into board gaming. And you want them to understand that you love this because of whatever the reason might be. And you may want to know why they love it as well. But it takes a level of kindness and understanding. So I implore upon everyone who is listening to this, no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter what direction you're going, no matter what you're creating, if you're a content creator, or if you're just someone who loves your hobbies and your passions, be kind to others who love the same things or wants to explore those different things, because that kindness goes such a long way. And it's not hard to be kind. It really isn't. It's not something that's difficult to do. A smile, a wave, a hello, or asking a question. Hey, you want to play? Are you interested in this? I'm interested in this too. And that's how the dialogue starts. And that's how growth begins. That's how you cultivate a community. That's how you build lifelong bonds and friendships. And it's so important to do that. As long as you have the intent to be kind, everything else falls into place. I can honestly say I try to be as kind a person as I can be and understanding and everything. And I believe you can be too. But in the meantime and in between time, as I tell all of you beautiful, sexy people out here, new and old, experienced and new to it, please stay nerdy, stay geeky, stay sexy, and always, always be kind. Take care.
Hi, I'm JenCam, and it's crazy to me that 2024 is already in full swing. And when I say full swing, I legitimately mean that winter is here. It's absolutely crazy. When I woke up this morning, my weather app told me that it felt like 18 degrees below zero. And no, I don't live in Iceland. So when I think about board games on days or weeks like this, it's really hard to think about anything other than, well, but what better way to forget about the cold wind and snow than to immerse yourself in a beautiful board game about designing the most beautiful Japanese garden? Tang Garden is a 1 to 4 player game where players will progressively build a garden by creating the landscape, placing the scenery, and projecting their vision through vertical panoramas. During the construction, nobles will visit the garden to admire the surroundings and the way the natural elements coexist in the most breathtaking scenery humankind has ever laid their eyes upon. My husband and I really enjoy tiling games in general, but one of the things I really love about this game in particular is that when you are placing the nobles, you need to consider line of sight for endgame scoring. So for instance, the sword dancer has a sight preference where she wants to see waterfall icons on the active landscape. The poet, on the other hand, wants to see garden tiles with water terrain. So these are things that you kind of have to keep in mind while you're placing them, because when you place them, you have to make sure they're facing the right direction and also kind of consider what things will be placed there in the future, because if the Empress sees either the Emperor or Lady in her line of sight, you actually lose points. But honestly, there are a couple of things that I am just a sucker for in board games. The first is theme. I love a good theme. And I want pretty games. I really love pretty games. This game is gorgeous. I was looking through like my photos that I've taken of games, and this is actually really one of the few, and definitely one of the first I ever felt compelled to take photos of, because when it is done and you have this full garden with the trees and the nobles and everybody and the panoramas, it's so pretty. It's just this 3D piece of art that you have at the end of the game. And whether I win or lose, I kind of don't care, because it is just that gorgeous. Also, something to know, I only have the base game of the game, but there are plenty of expansions. There is a new expansion that will be coming out this year. I think production is hopefully wrapping up and it will be coming to backers shortly. I bought all of the expansions during the last Kickstarter, including a roll and write. So it's probably not going to be as beautiful, but I do love my roll and writes as well. So keep that in mind. There's lots of things that you can add to it. So that way you're getting different nobles, different panoramas, different decorations, all of these things to kind of mix it up. So I'm really looking forward to trying that when it does arrive. Just a heads up though, sometimes this can be a lot to set up, especially for one person, and I am the designated setup, teardown person in my house. I have also played this solo. It's definitely a lot to set up for a solo game. So I would still recommend it solo. It's really puzzly. It's gorgeous. I do like it better as a multiplayer game. No matter what though, I never have any regrets playing it, because as I already said, at the end, you just have this beautiful garden And I would rather look at that than what is going on outside right now. With that said, stay safe and warm, family. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to OFPG. I am Melanie from Mel's Board Game Room, and this for this video I'm going to be doing a top 5 video for nature themed board games. Now, me and nature right now are having a bit of a rough time. We're not really getting along. In Alberta, we've just finished having weather temperatures of minus 47 degrees Celsius, which translate into Fahrenheit minus 52.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's been really cold and miserable outdoors. So I've been mostly staying inside. So doing the top 5 nature themed game, I'm just saying, I'm kind of a little iffy about nature right now. So the number 5 games on my list is appropriately Winter. Winter is a very small 2-player game, and it is mean, just like nature's been to me right now. In this game, you will be playing one as a darker snowflakes and one as a lighter colored snowflakes, and you place cards trying to create clusters of your colored snowflakes so that you can put a token inside of them. But then on your turn, you can manipulate the tokens and the cards, and you're trying to remove and kind of sabotage the other players' things that they've played. Now, I've played this game a few times now, and I lose every time. But it is a really quick, very, as I say, there's a lot of take that in this game. But it's a very neat game to play, and it plays super quick, super fun, and the artwork is just pretty with all the different snowflakes. And that's my number 5, Winter. My number 4 game is Parks. So Parks is a game about going on a hike and visiting national parks. And so this one here is just beautiful to look at. First of all, the artwork is so vibrant and neat. And then all the wooden tokens are just so much fun. So you have 2 little hikers that's going to be going down this path. And you can go as far forward as you can, but your hiker can never move backwards. And as they land on their location, they can collect different tokens and do different actions. Now, if somebody is on a spot, you cannot go there unless you have a campfire that you guys can share. Then you could share the space, but the campfire can only be used the one time. And you're moving your way forward, trying to maybe go ahead to make sure that you get the stuff that you're wanting, but maybe not going too far so that you can hit multiple places. It is very interesting. And then once you reach the end of the trail, then you can go and spend the tokens that you've collected to go and visit some of these national parks, and then you get those cards, and they'll give you, extra points or different ways to score at the end of the game. This is just a beautiful, very satisfying game to play, and just perfect for a nature-themed game. Now, my number 3 is Cascadia. Now, I love Cascadia, mostly since it's North American wildlife and terrain, which is where I am located. So all of these animals I have come across before. And with this one, it's kind of a puzzly game, but you're kind of doing 2 puzzles at the same time. So the first one is you're going to draw a tile that you're going to add to your the map that you're building, and you're trying to create clusters of the same type of habitat and trying to get as large a cluster as you can, because if you have the largest cluster, you're going to be able to score that at the end. You're also going to be collecting a token that is associated to that tile, and that token is going to have a different animal on it. Now, some of the terrain tiles going to have symbols on it showing which animal can go on that location. But then each animal also is going to have a different goal that is drawn for that game, and those change every game because there's multiple cards that you can draw from that gives you different ways of scoring them. So trout, sometimes it's if you can have as many in a row, then it's going to score so many points. Sometimes like as I mentioned, it will change every time. And you're trying to create this. Now, if you ever get a terrain that has just a single symbol on it, and you're able to put a token matching that animal symbol, you'll get a pine cone, and the pine cone allows you to spend it so that you can draw a tile and a token that are not associated with each other, so you can mix and match what you want. Or if you don't spend them, they're going to be worth 1 point at the end of the game. So after you've built everything and you've kind of run out of tiles, you're going to score all the animals that you've been able to put into your map, and whoever has the most point is the winner. It's a very neat, satisfying game to play. My number 2 game is Meadow. Now, Meadow has so much beautiful artwork in this game. It is unreal. You have all sorts of things from, you know, plants to insects to animals, and they're all watercolor. So there's a lot of cards in this game and just beautiful artwork on each of them. And this is kind of like a resource management. So you're going to be utilizing these little flags that's going to have a certain number associated with it that you're going to tuck in on the side of the board. So if I have a number 1 flag that I'm going to tuck in on the corner there, so then that means I am going to collect 1 card in, and that's the card I'm going to be adding to my tableau. And then that card is going to have some symbols on it that is going to allow me to be able to acquire different cards as well. So in order to be able to collect the cards, you need to have the symbol associated with it to add it. Now, when you add the card, you're going to also replace, possibly kind of put a card on top of another one, replacing the symbols that you had with other symbols. So you want to make sure that you don't replace a symbol you need to be able to acquire the other cards. Now, at first, it's kind of no problem. You can do all of that. As the game progresses, or the round progresses, that there's a lot less available to put your little flag along the edge of the board, and it kind of gets filled in quite a bit. And that's where you can then go to the campsite and you'll tuck in the back of it and activate a special ability. You know, one of them allows you to go and take a card anywhere on the board, which is really good because sometimes there's no other ways of getting it because all the location, the little notches along the board have been taken. So you'll be doing that, collecting the tiles, kind of using the symbols that you have to acquire more cards, and then to build this whole kind of ecosystem, I guess. And then at the end of the game, again, whoever has the most points is the winner. This is a very satisfying, beautiful game to play. And then my number 1 game for my top nature themed game is Earth. Earth is a tableau building game. You're going to be creating a 4x4 tableau building, but there's also a strong engine building element to it. So what's really neat, and this is very nature themed, so you have different ecosystem, different climate that you can select. You're going to be acquiring different cards, adding them to this island that you're building, and on your turn you're going to select which action you want to activate, whether you're going to be planting new cards or whether you're going to be adding sprouts to some of these cards, or if you're going to grow and add trunks or canopy onto the card. And everything that you're doing here is going to be giving you points at the end of the game. And you can compost some cards, turn them into soil, so then you have the soil tokens that you can spend and use for different things as well. And then as you do the action and you do what it tells you to do, then you can also go and activate the ability on the matching colored card that you would have built into your tableau, which is the island you're building. So if you do this action, then you can go and activate all the green cards, and the green cards give you all of these things that you can do. So it is very neat, very interesting. And then what's cool with this too is as you pick your action and you do your action, every other player gets to do the sub action, so they get to do a portion of what you got to do. So maybe you got to do you draw cards and you planted, then they got the option of either planting or drawing a card, for example. So they get a portion of the action, so there's almost no downtime in this game. You're always doing something. I really enjoyed when I played this game. Now, the first time I played, I managed to almost get 0 green cards. So every time that engine would build, say, okay, everybody can activate their green cards, I had nothing to activate. So it's really important to try to get a very diverse things on your board. Plus, the cards will interact with each other and will score, like, you know, so this one will score depending on what is around its location in the 4x4 grid. There's so much going on with it, but everything is so interesting and just beautiful themes. So those were my top 5 nature-themed games. I hope Mother Nature cooperates and warms up very soon, and I hope that you are warm where you are as well. Bye, everybody.
Hello, I'm Marcus Ross, back with another segment for OFPG Voices for the Designer's Corner. This time I'm going over things I do to keep sharp as game designer. Just going to cover a few things in no particular order. First one is books. I think a good game designer has to be well read. There are a lot of books about game design. Some of my favorites, this is Your Turn, The Guide to Great Tabletop Game Design from Scott Rogers. It is a practical step-by-step guide of how to produce a board game. From just ideas, prototypes, boards, concepts. He just takes you through it step by step. Wonderful reference. The next book I recommend is The Building Blocks for Tabletop Game Design, an Encyclopedia of Mechanisms, Jeff Engelstein and Isaac Shalev. It is what it is on the cover. It's a reference. It is an encyclopedic volume detailing every game mechanism they could think of and stuff into one book. Just what the mechanism is, how it works, not even how you'd use it in a game, just how it works. If you're going to design a dice game, you owe it to yourself to pick up a copy of Dice Games Properly Explained, Reiner Knizia's definitive book on the topic. It covers betting games, bluffing games, kind of Yahtzee-style games. Any kind of game you can make with 6-sided dice. It has probability charts. It has full rules for a large number of games, enough that you could play them. Next on my list, and something I highly suggest, is to play new games. Play a lot of games, play some old games, but especially play new games. So, games that are released within the last 2 to 5 years, those are going to be the most popular games that your audience is going to be familiar with. I know, like, there's value in playing old games, some classics, but the cult of the new is real. And mechanics that are in recent games are things your audience is going to want referenced in the new games that they buy and play. My next piece of advice, and the thing I do, play with other designers. You want to be around game design as much as possible. For me, we have a local gaming group that I actually was a founder of. It's called Spiel Masons. We meet every week, and I try to go to those meetings as much as I can. The reason I started this group is I wanted to be around other game designers and be exposed to other games, other ideas, playing things that aren't done, getting used to what my tastes are, and seeing what a game in a rough state, see how it improves over time, seeing how other designers think. And I love having it as a resource where I can bring my games and have them critique and give suggestions. And my number one tip is to design games and refine games as much as possible. I will get in my car and travel hundreds of miles, if necessary, if I know I can get to a table with other game designers and we'll be able to play one of my new prototypes, or just be in a space where I can talk with other game designers, play other games, and critique and give feedback and do all of the things that make games better. A lot of conventions that I go to will have designer spaces, places set aside for game designers to show off their prototypes, and then they'll also have competitions where we'll just hand people a few bits and a theme and say, make a game, you've got an hour. And that game's not going to be something you're ever going to release. It's just getting you back into, here's scratch, just make a game. Just give me a win condition, give me something, we'll refine it a little bit, and then at the end we'll throw it away. It just keeps our minds nimble. Game design is just like anything else. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The wider variety of feedback you can get on your game designs will make you a better game designer. So showing it to as many people as you can get from as diverse a background as you can get will make the audience for your game as wide as possible. If I want to be a better designer, I have to expose myself to more ideas And the best way I know to do it is to get out of my region, go talk to new people, go meet other designers, go meet other game players, go to new spaces, have new experiences, play new games. So that's my segment for this time. Get out there, play some more games, design some more games, let me know how it goes. All right, thanks everybody.
Now that message from navymontel.
Yes.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Let me tell you, navymontel. He's a great cosplayer. He's a great blurb. Blurb means black and nerd smashed together. For those who don't know. And you got to go to Instagram, check him out.
Yeah.
You know, definitely follow him because he has some very inspiring words all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, just be kind. This is just one of them.
Be kind. And that's what a good human does to other people. They're kind.
Yes.
We don't have to be mean to other people. You don't have to be. And it doesn't cost you anything to just be kind.
No.
If someone's getting on your nerve, if someone's bothering you, you can just, say, you know what, be blessed and walk away.
Be blessed.
And just walk away. You don't have to argue. You don't have to, start a fight. Just, you know what, they're having a bad day. You have to recognize that and just be kind to people.
And in his words, be sexy, y'all. Be sexy. Yes.
Well, Navy did such a great job. We're going to have him back some other time during this year.
Yes, we will.
But I just want to say thank you so much, Navy, for contributing with your wonderful words about being kind.
Yes, and he said that he wants us to be on his show. That's anytime.
We will be there.
Anytime. Just let us know. Let us know. Let us know.
Now, our contributors, as always,
they
brought it. They stayed on theme.
Yes, they did.
Jen gave us this interesting review on a game called Tang Garden.
And it's a beautiful game.
It is beautiful.
It is a beautiful game.
We haven't played it.
No, we haven't played it.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and it is a beautiful. And then she was like cold at one point. She was frozen.
Jen she's a hoot.
Yeah, we love her. We love her.
We love her. But that review was just on point.
Yes, it was.
Tang Garden, that's nature.
That's nature.
That's nature.
All day long.
Yeah.
But that Mel, I tell you.
Melanie.
Mel.
She came through with her top 5 list.
Yes.
I mean, and she went in depth on those games. And see, you know what?
Now, she is in the middle of nature. She's in the middle of nowhere in Canada. So I know she cold.
Well, her first game was called Winter.
Winter, yes. But now we played Winter.
We did.
From DeVere Games, and that is a really fun game.
It is.
It is a really fun game. Now it's crazy. It's take that. It's a lot of competition there, but I do like it. And Parks, we love Parks.
Love Parks.
Cascadia, Meadow, and Earth. Earth. Oh my Lord.
Just a great list.
Just
but for her to
list.
kick off her list with Winter, that again is apropos.
Yes, it is.
For the subject matter.
Now Parks, I love Parks.
Yeah.
It is.
But you don't love Parks in the winter, though.
No, I don't love Parks in the winter.
We don't do Parks in the winter.
No, and Cascadia, we just came from, the Cascades. Yes, we came from them, and it is cold.
It's cold.
And they begging for more snow in the mountains.
Yeah, they need it because people can ski.
Yeah, so they can ski, for the resorts.
Snowboard and all that stuff.
And Meadow, that is your favorite.
I love Meadow.
You love Meadow.
Yes, I do. And it comes with all the seasons.
It comes with everything. It comes with everything. You see all the seasons in that
And then, of course, Earth. I mean, Earth is nature.
Earth is nature.
That's where nature happens.
Yes, and Earth is a great game, though.
It is a great game.
That's one of the big ones of 2023.
That's true.
That was one of the big ones.
And then, of course, Marcus Ross came in with his tips for designers, which I just thought were very smart, very thought-provoking. And he started off by reading books. If you want to be a designer, read what other people have done. Yeah, do the research. Read. And I thought that was good because I think too many people are throwing games out there. They're not reading. They're not doing the background. They're just like, I can put a game together. Do the research.
Yeah, because I hear some, designers who make really good games. Yeah. It takes them 2-3 years to put together. We got some folks that they do it in six months. It's like, I got a game.
I did it last week.
No, you don't. You don't have a game.
No research. You don't even know half the games in the hobby.
Yeah.
Stop.
Put
out good stuff.
Put out great stuff.
And I appreciate Marcus telling designers to do that. And then also, he said, go to designing groups.
Yes.
To the Proto Spiel. What is it?
Unpub.
Unpub. That's
Unpub and Proto Spiel. They have that. Yes.
And then Marcus is part of a group here in Omaha,
called Spiel Masons, over at Spielbound Cafe.
Yeah, they go and they test out each other's games and stuff. I mean, he's really into it, because he wants to make that classic. That game's going to last for decades and decades.
And he wants to help other people out. Because when we go to him to different cons, he's always in the the unpublished, unpub room,
people and learning
the demo room. He's always there.
I know Marcus has made some really fun games in the past, but I know that there's a classic work in him.
Yes, it is.
And with all the work that he's doing, he's gonna get one of those Ticket to Rides or Catan type
he
classes.
is.
I know it's coming,
and I can't
he's doing
wait.
It. Yeah, he's doing
I cannot
it.
wait.
So yeah, and he said, you know, go to conventions. You know, go meet other people, talk to people, do the work before you put that game out.
Yes,
and I love that
is so
advice.
true. That is so true.
So that's it for our episode, and we want to also say thank you to our sponsor. Board and Dice is back.
Yes, Board and Dice is back, y'all.
And we're so happy to have them. Thank you for sponsoring.
Yes.
And that's it for us.
That's it?
That's it.
Now, what about our merch dollar? I got merch. I got merch on.
If you're looking for a shirt, or a cup, or a tumbler, you know, check us out on Spring.
Yes. And please subscribe, y'all.
Yes, subscribe.
Come on. We still got to get our 30,000. We missed that last year, but we got to get it this year. Come on. 30,000 subscribers. Come on. Let's go.
And our next episode is coming out on February 7th, so don't miss it. And we're going to be talking about civilization building games.
Yes, I can't wait for that. Yes. I cannot wait. Now, Starla, where can they find OFPG and OFPG Voices out here in this crazy blizzards and stuff and winter and all this? Where can they find us?
Well, if you're looking for Our Family Plays Games, our OFPG Voices, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube.
Right here.
And don't forget our website.
Don't forget.
And TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. Now, family, thank you so much for coming out and checking out these beautiful voices. Don't forget our sponsor. Check them out so they can keep on doing and helping us out. So definitely check them out and support them. But hey, if you have any questions or comments, please put it down below. We always love hearing from you. But there's one thing, family, one thing we want you to always know and never forget it. We love you.
Bye
now.
Everybody.